Okay, so Tactical Templar decided to take shots at Papa Gut. To my understanding, Papa Gut hasn't really made a video on Tactical Templar in ages, so Mr. Templar decided to make one on Papa Gut on his own volition. And I don't believe I covered Tactical Templar since November of 2025, so it's been about like 4 or 5 months since I last covered Templar. And, well, he's an interesting character, to say the least. The first video I watched, he was saying Zoran Mamdani getting elected as mayor in New York City is a threat because he is a Muslim, which is a total victim complex. Second video was when he was going after Papa Gut for like an Asmongold video. He's just like a guy who believes in the magical apple curse, and he's probably grifting to some extent, but he's a PNG tuber, so hey, anytime there's a Papa Gut hit piece or anyone goes after Papa Gut, you know we gotta react to it. We love the AI intro. Good stuff.
Talking about.
I just said it was odd, and Jules
You didn't say it was odd at all, but okay.
says you are outstandingly wrong.
This is interesting. Where the fuck is what was this video? Tectone's response is was this like an internet versus video he was reacting to on Tectone? I don't know which internet versus video this is. I don't know.
Everyone copes with trauma in different ways. Dark humor is absolutely a coping mechanism that plenty of people use. Tactical Templar replies to the
Oh great, Tactical Templar.
original.
Oh god, fucking Tactical Templar.
You know, the fact that I can get Papa Gut to have that sort of adverse reaction, it does make me a little bit happy. I gotta be honest. It does warm the deep cockles of my heart that this guy.
Do you like having such infamy, Mr. Templar? Do you enjoy being an infamous person?
He's my name and goes, oh gosh, you know. let's see how bad it is. But by the way, what is this in regards to? This is what I talk about all the time. There are a lot of short-sighted retard simps.
Whoa!
That are guided entirely by their emotions. Thus, I don't like Tectone, so this is good and funny. It's not. This.
Well, no. Tectone was held liable in a civil case for raping and stalking his ex-girlfriend, Pink Chu. He can't own a gun for 10 years, can't talk about her, though he seems to be violating his protective order as each day passes, or at least attempting to see what he can get away with. So, yeah, Tectone is not a good person, Mr. Templar.
Situation sucks. She can talk shit about him, but he isn't able to respond. Whatever you think about Tectone, every one of you should be able to recognize that this is not the way society should operate.
How about you don't rape your ex-partner, and you won't put yourself in that position? I think we can start with that, more than anything. Protective order was completely valid, because Tectone was the aggressor onto her. And also, he's a repeat offender, because he has an ex-wife. Freem is his ex-wife, and apparently he was, like, abusive to her as well. So, Tectone seems to be a repeat offender. He's also getting a fiancé now, so it's possible that he may not be good to her either. Who knows?
How on earth could you have an issue with that statement?
I have an issue with the fact that Tectone's trying to violate his protective order. That's what I have an issue with. Again, like, the protective order was done fair and square. And again, the civil case determined that Tectone had to lose his guns for a whole fucking decade. Because he's just that much of a threat to women.
Like, you would have to go out of your way to have an issue with this statement.
Not really. I just, like, Papa Gut Papa Gut pretty much has the same take that I do. It's that Tectone raped his ex-girlfriend, and he put himself in that situation.
Oh my god.
Of Pink Chu by saying, this is what I talk about all the time.
I talk about this all the time, guys, when I'm on my stream by myself.
There are a lot of...
Yeah. Hey, guys, you don't exist. Hey, chat, you don't exist. Papa Gut has just decreed that you guys are completely gone. By the way, if I'm so irrelevant, why the fuck is this guy even mentioning me?
because you came up on the internet versus video, so he's reacting to you in the heat of the moment. Papa Gut hasn't even, like, made a video, like, dedicated to you in ages. Now he did. Like, he actually recently reacted to this because you decided to make this video. So you gave him a reason to talk about you now.
If I'm that irrelevant, how do you know who I am? Now, I understand that you're not very intelligent, you're not very good at this.
So true, King. Papa Gut is a very unintelligent person. That's why a lot of people like to watch him.
But doing an appeal to numbers or doing an appeal to authority,
Oh, great. We're just, like, using debate buzzwords now.
it's an incredibly weak...
Also, you talk about appeal to authority. I'm sorry. Your whole thing is believing in a magical apple curse. Like, your whole thing is appealing to an authority with God. And, like, believing that God fucking ate a magical apple. Excuse me, fruit. Sorry. I remember the last time we said magical apple, Tactical Templar got super offended at that. So, don't want to offend Tactical Templar this time. It's a magical fruit. Sorry. You know, that it hurt to give birth and that we all lost our immortality and that we're all, like, the products of incest. And climate change is only real to MAGA religious freaks, but only when it's Noah's Ark, when it rains for 40 days and 40 nights. So... yeah, I don't know why you're using this whole appeal to the authority argument when your entire grift is an appeal to the authority with God.
Argument. Is what I'm saying here correct or is it incorrect? Do you have an issue with what I'm saying here? Whatever you think of me personally, apparently you are so emotionally compromised that you can't put aside whatever you may feel for me to actually read what I'm saying and listen to it. No, I'm gonna talk to my nobody audience. Yeah, okay, all right. My audience that doesn't exist according to you. It's like this is such a pathetic argument.
Of short-sighted simps that are guided entirely by their emotions. Thus, I don't
True.
like Tectone, so this is good and funny. It's
Jesus
not.
fuck.
This situation sucks.
This fucking phase is insane.
She can talk about him.
This guy thinks that you should be able to rape your partner and that, like, age of consent is a trick, is a Western trick.
But he
This is true. Tactical Templar has, in fact, agreed with these sentiments.
No, that's defamatory. That's
No, that's defamatory. Okay. You did say those things.
dishonest bullshit.
No, you did say those things, and you know what? Let's bring it up right now. Let's get the receipts, just so you guys can see that Tactical Templar did in fact agree or was complicit in a lot of these sentiments. Here we go, right here. As you can see, Tactical Templar, this is a tweet he made on May 9th, 2024. You cannot rape your wife or husband. Consent is implied. So what he's referring to here, this is another, like, appeal to religion. I'm using your fucking terms now, Tactical Templar. He's appealing to religion by saying the moment you marry someone in a religious setting, your partner has to submit to you, basically, and they have to do that. Like, that's basically, this is a pro-rape take, basically, saying that it's quote-unquote impossible to rape your spouse or husband if you're married, basically. This is like an extreme religious psychosis take here. Here, this was a comment that was left on his Dr. Disrespect defense video. Apparently, Tactical Templar made a video running defense for Dr. Disrespect, which I guess probably doesn't shock me too much because a lot of religious circles accept pedophilia, unfortunately. You have this person right here that commented, America, age of consent is weird and it is made to set up men to failure with intent. Tactical Templar hearts this comment. He likes it. He subscribes to the idea that age of consent is a trap. It is meant to trap men. So these are in fact things that you agree with. So get owned, Buccarino.
No, you're a liar. You're
not. I just showed you why he's not lying.
a fraud. You're a freak. You're genuinely too stupid and immoral.
Guys, I believe that two donkeys tried to curse Israel. I believe that, like, demons rape a bunch of fucking humans. And I believe stories of genocide and slavery and justifying all these, like, horrific things and conversion therapy. But, Papa Gut's the freak here.
And fat and retarded to
Okay, what the fuck? I shouldn't be laughing, but it's like so fucking stupid the way he said.
understand one iota of what I was talking about in that statement, talking about Christian marriage, talking about marriage being more than what you as a secular retard think marriage is. Which,
Guys, you just don't believe in my fucking magical apple curse enough. You don't get it. Maybe he's onto something, guys. I don't know.
is basically just a contract between two individuals.
That's true. Marriage is a contract between two individuals. Marriage is not, however, a contract where you have to submit to your partner for consent. Just because they are your partner does not necessarily mean they always consent to every single action. I mean, it's going to vary from relationship to relationship, marriage to marriage, obviously. You know, I know Papa Gut has certain boundaries he has with his wife. I know it's going to be different in other marriages. But, like, basically what Tactical Templar is trying to argue here is because just because the marriage exists, they have to submit to you, basically. That's the argument that he is arguing for. And that's absolutely not a correct take. What you're saying right now is a pro-rapist take.
Bible.
I can see why you're defending fucking Tectone, who is an actual rapist as well. I guess they like to stick in flocks.
Your Christian ethic says that you have duties to your partner.
Wow. Great, guys. We're giving pro-rapist takes.
You have duties to your partner. So basically, what I was trying to say, but freaks like you are genuinely too repugnant and too gooner bait.
Oh no! How dare you have sex or jerk off before marriage?
Yeah, into the gooner bait, into the degeneracy. You're too fucking dumb to understand that you as a wife and you as a husband have obligations to your partner.
You don't. That's not a real thing. In the real world, that is not a thing unless you're a religious freak like this guy.
Because in the Bible it talks about...
And people wonder why others are, like, gravitating away from religion and moving away from it. Because you have people like this who use it to justify really disgusting things.
If you deny sex from your partner, then you are opening them up to lust. So if you continuously deny your partner sex, if you continuously say, I'm not going to sleep with you, then you open your partner up to go to OnlyFans or go look for, things elsewhere. You have duties to your other partner. And by the way,
This guy. I'm just letting him talk, guys. I'm letting him self-report. I keep talking, Tactical Templar. You're making yourself look worse.
To make the implication that I'm okay with rape.
You are. Like, everything you just said is a pro-rapist. How are you going to sit here and say that I am totally against rape? By the way, you have to submit to your part. That you are giving pro-rapist takes.
Because you didn't understand a statement that I made that admittedly was a little bit...
You made your stance on this very clear. You think it's impossible to rape your partner. Which is just not true.
Bombastic, but it was not an endorsement of that, and you fucking know it.
You just, again, he's pretending like he didn't just give, like, the most fucking rape apologist rhetoric ever.
You greasy goblin. You got your shit pushed in by Andrew Wilson.
Ah, of course, the Andrew Wilson debate.
You got humiliated by Andrew Wilson.
So true, King.
And what now? You're gonna try.
It's one thing. Listen, you can watch the Andrew Wilson debate, and I guess from a debate perspective, Papa Gut didn't, I guess, win from a debate perspective. Whatever. I guess you can think that. But, like, people are pretending like, oh my god, Papa Gut is like a fucking... He's a... look at Papa Gut. He tried to have a conversation with Andrew Wilson, and Andrew Wilson fucking rolled him. Listen... If you are of the perspective that Papa Gut absolutely got destroyed and nothing he said was valuable in the Andrew Wilson debate, there's nothing that can convince you from any of your ideas that you get from Andrew Wilson's echo chamber. I mean, how the fuck are you supposed to debate somebody who runs defense for marrying 13-year-olds and runs defense for incest sex, says that women should be thankful that men do not rape them, which the only reason you would ever say something like that is because you want to rape women. And he also, when he was debating that Oliver person, he proposed the idea of, let's just say a sexual assault happens. Is it possible that a woman could experience some pleasure or enjoyment out of the sexual assault? That is a question that he has asked in debates. And so, when you have somebody who's running defense for all of these things, realistically, how the fuck are you supposed to debate somebody like that? Like, I don't understand. Like, Papa Gut tried to have a conversation with him. Didn't really work because Andrew Wilson came to debate. And he also lied a lot in that debate. But it is what it is. Like, what are you gonna do? That's just, you have people like Tactical Templar who's like, Andrew Wilson dominated you. Okay. I mean, you can think that, but I also think you're a little bit immature.
Try to misconstrue this and try to misrepresent this. No, what I said is basic under a Christian ethic. Andrew Wilson.
I guess because you're immature, that's also why you think age of consent is a trap. And it's meant to trap men into other immature relationships with other teenagers. You're the type of person that would want to marry like a 16 or a 15-year-old or something.
Has talked about that before, that he doesn't consider it sexual assault or rape if he wakes up and his wife is pleasuring him, and the same thing, because in a Christian relationship, consent is complied because you've taken on the duty.
I wonder why not as many people are willing to be religious anymore.
The husband, and you've taken on.
Sounds like there's a lot of restrictions and constrictions with being religious.
The duty as a wife, which, by the way, is more than just a contract of individuals that is meant to just benefit them. There are other duties involved, by the way. I don't know if you know that, but there are other duties beyond just the sexual. Like, for example, talking about you should be willing to sacrifice your life for your wife. You should love your wife as Christ loves the church. In the marriage, it says that the wife should view the husband as the Christ head. So these are things that are duties and roles and obligations to try to maximally make a better marriage. But you secularist retards.
God, the way he says it. I shouldn't laugh, but the way he says it. It's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. The way he says it's so funny. It's just, this guy's ridiculous. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to talk to people like this. Honestly, like, what do you say to people like Tactical Templar to get through to him?
Are so obsessed with this, like, empty virtue signal language that...
So true. Papa Gut's a big virtue signaler. He cares so much.
You just...
Or he pretends to care. I guess you think he pretends to care. I don't know. I don't think Papa Gut's virtue signaling, personally, but... maybe I'm just a biased Papa Gut fan. I don't know, dude.
Shit the bed like this. And by the way... if you've watched my content for any length of time, you know what my position on the age of consent is.
Yeah, you think it's a trap. We saw you heart a comment that says that age of consent is a trap.
Why? Let me just ask you something. Why would you, if I'm as bad as you claim I am, why would you need to lie and misrepresent the things that I've said?
So I love that he just says that, guys, you know my stance on, like, what age of consent should be and, like, all the age of consent policies. I love that he brings that up and then proceeds to not fucking say what he thinks about it. The reason why is because if he were to elaborate on what he actually thinks the age of consent should be, he would look bad. Like, he would look like a total fucking moron, and he would look like an absolute red flag. He is not elaborating on it on purpose. Because in a lot of religious circles, it's acceptable to rape children, unfortunately. I guess that explains why MAGA, bunch of religious purist freaks, are running defense for Trump, refuses to release the Epstein client list, because he's probably on there. They run defense for it. That is part of the reason why.
Wouldn't they just be out there? If it's true that I was out there on stream, always advocating that, guys, rape is good. Guys, you should just bang your wife's head into the kitchen cabinet. If that was out there, why?
I don't even know if... But what did Papa Gut even, like, make that original claim? Why the fuck did you go to that immediately? Why is that the first thing you thought of?
Why don't you have anything to show it? Because all of the clips of me talking about marriage and talking about commitment, all of the things talking about that are about duties and loving your wife, honoring your wife, cherishing your wife. When I talk about people that go after children who are under the age of 18, people that are children, my statement is always consistently, we need to bring back crucifixion. I've said in relation to Epstein that we need to find the people that were actually sexualizing and brutalizing kids. Like, for example...
Yeah, and the president that you voted for will not release the client list. He refuses every single time. And I know every single time I bring this up, a lot of MAGA people or people that run defense for Trump will do one of two things. One, they'll be like, there's no evidence that Trump is on the Epstein list. Massive cope, because there actually is evidence that Trump is on the Epstein files, and some of the more recent releases of the files are pretty damning and pretty credible, implicating Trump was on the island, right? Two, Trump refuses to release the full files, unredacted. His administration was blacking out everything. They were completely redacting everything with black squares, you know, that sort of thing, right? The next thing that these freaks will bring up is, oh, but Joe Biden didn't release the Epstein files. This is a whataboutism. When people bring up that Joe Biden didn't release the files, that's a whataboutism because Joe Biden didn't promise releasing the files. Trump did. He promised he would release the files. I guess he realized that he himself was on the files and is choosing not to do it now because he is most likely a predator. That is the only reason why he is withholding the files. What other reason would he have to hold the files and not release it when he promised he would? What other reason? If you really want to go after the people for the Epstein files, go after Trump, who refuses to fucking release it. Oh, wait, that would contradict with the grift that you're doing here. Oh, yeah.
What do you think, Papa Gut? Be honest for once in your retarded, miserable life.
Wow.
What
He sure loves that word.
do you think my position is on the person that found out that one of, the person they were victimizing, that they believed in Jesus, so they wanted to dress up as Jesus to victimize a girl? What do you think my position is there?
Well, I mean, there has been a long-lasting history of priests in the church molesting children and abusing that power dynamic, saying, hey, I'm the only communication through God, so you have to do this sex act for me if you want to wipe yourself of your sins or whatever. There's been a lot of grooming in the religious churches.
No, that's fine. Yeah, are you that fucking retarded? I don't know.
Guys, he's spitting. He's spitting so many facts. I don't think we can handle Tactical Templar's facts and logic.
No, my position is that guy should be crucified. You want to dress up as Christ? We can end you like Christ.
What the fuck do you even mean by that?
Crucify that guy. I've said it before, we should bring back crucifixion. My stances on these things are much harsher than yours. My stance on people who actually commit rape and are accused of it, convicted of it in a court of law, I guarantee is much more brutal than whatever bullshit you've come up with.
Oh, that's cool. Anyways, you're friends with Tectone, who was found guilty in a civil case of raping, stalking, and abusing his ex-girlfriend. So, you're still friends with the dude.
But this is a cope. It is a mechanism to avoid having to deal with the reality of what I'm saying. And so you think you can dismiss me by making that shit up. He doesn't have an audience. He believes... If I were out here advocating that you should just be able to just grab your wife and beat her and force yourself on her, no. No, the whole thing about consent is implied in a Christian marriage is the fact that you both have duties and obligations. If your husband, you love your wife to the point of you're willing to give your life for her. If you tell your wife that you want to have sex in a Christian marriage, she does it.
Great. Guys, I'm not for rape. I'm not a rape apologist. Please, I'm not a rape apologist. Proceeds to say that you have, if a guy says that you have to have sex, you do it immediately. Great. Totally not a rapist take.
If your wife says to your husband, you know what, I want to have sex, then you do it.
Guys, I'm not a rapist. Guys, I promise I'm not a rapist.
Now, of course, people like you, because you're perverts and because you're brain broken, you go, well, what if she's sick and you're just going to... No, of course not. You fucking animal. But the fact is, when I put that tweet together, yes, it was a little bit hyperbolic. But the fact is, at the time, I honestly did not realize that, and this is to my own fault, this is to my own detriment, that there were so many bad faith, retarded, broken freaks like you.
Well, wouldn't that be on you then? if you're effectively admitting that you were rage baiting, like, now you're getting upset that people meet it with the energy that you were trying to get in the first place. Like, it's your own fault that you didn't fucking clarify whatever the fuck you said. So, I don't know, dude. You can't really, like, admit to rage baiting and then get upset when people get upset at you because you are trying to look for that reaction. That was what you're doing.
That would take something like that I think is rather basic under a Christian ethic and turn it into, this guy is in favor of being able to force yourself on a girl, which is such a lie. And you know it. You know it's a lie. You know it's a grotesque lie, and it just belies the fact that you people are just, you're devoid of any substance. There's nothing to you. And I think maybe more than anything, that's what Andrew Wilson was able to expose.
I don't know why anybody cares about this guy.
Isn't able to.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly, I don't know why anyone cares what you think.
Guys, Andrew Wilson destroyed this guy. I don't know why anyone gives a fuck about what Papa Gut thinks. So true, King. So true. Spitting facts, Mr. Templar. We stand Tactical Templar, surely. Tactical Templar stands.
I don't. I genuinely don't. You can't contend with what I'm saying because it's correct.
According to what God says. Wait, isn't that an appeal to an authority? What happened? I thought we hated appeals to authority.
Respond. Whatever you think about Tectone.
Wow. Guys, the guy that raped his ex-girlfriend is no longer allowed to respond when she's...
Okay, so that's the argument you're going with? So, Tectone was not... so your thing is... Hey, so he's a rapist. So
he is. He was found guilty in a civil court. Yeah.
He shouldn't be allowed to respond to her, but she should be allowed to respond to him.
Yeah, that's how protective orders work. And again, if you don't want a protective order on you, you could just not be an abusive rapist that stalks your ex-girlfriend relentlessly and even still tries to refer to her as much as he can while trying not to violate the protective order, which Tectone still does to this very day because he is that mentally unwell. So, I don't know, like, the more Tectone tweets, the more I realize, yeah, this guy deserves the protective order on him.
Should be allowed,
yeah, I would say it's more than fair.
Allowed to defame him, drag his name through the mud.
Defame him. He was found fucking liable in a civil court of raping and stalking his ex-girl. I don't know what you want me to tell you. He was found liable in the fucking civil court. The civil court says that he did that shit. I don't know what you want me to tell you. That is what the civil court says.
Do all this stuff, but because you think that he's guilty, that means that he should not have rights.
Because, I mean, what do you want me to do? Feel bad for a rapist? Really? Is that what you're doing? You want me to feel bad for somebody who fucking raped his ex-girlfriend? Like, do you want me to feel bad for someone who's like Tectone, who's abusive, incredibly racist, and a rapist? I don't know, dude. I don't really feel sorry for the guy that he can't own a gun for 10 years and that he can't talk about Pink Chew because he was relentlessly stalking and subtweeting the fuck out of her and weaponizing his audience against her.
Even though he hasn't been convicted in a court of law. Do you understand?
He was found guilty in a civil case. What the fuck do you mean he wasn't found guilty in a court of law? He was found guilty in a civil case.
That's just madness. If Tectone is guilty of the crime in which you're accusing him.
He is.
Which he's not, by the way.
He is.
We've seen the evidence. It's
the evidence. You're not going to see... I don't understand why people gravitate. Like, so many fucking dumb dude, on my nuclear fallout Tectone video, for whatever reason, that attracted so many, like, rape tone defenders and people that want to defend rape for some reason. I don't know why so many people are so adamant on, like, defending rapists, pedophiles, when it fits their political agenda. That's probably exactly why. But, like, they constantly use this argument of, there's no evidence. Watch the Think Before You Sleep video. Think Before You Sleep's video is dog shit. He just, like, fucking... He's so stupid. He misinterprets information so much in that video, and he's, like, a total incel to Pink Chew. Like, he's an... Like, that video was dog shit. You're obviously... We get it. You're biased. You're MAGA. You want to come gargle conservative shit because you have a confirmation bias. We get it. We understand, right? I get that Tectone's a right-wing grifter and it makes you guys look bad. I get it. But you don't have to defend rape. You make yourselves look worse when you do that shit. Especially when he was found guilty in the fucking civil case. But so many people use the argument that there's no evidence. If you're reading court transcripts, you're not gonna see the evidence. Like, if the evidence goes outside of the court case, that could potentially tamper with the case. So anything that's, like, really, really incriminating, we're not gonna see, like, at the very least half of it. Because it's happening in a court of law. So, I don't know what you guys fucking expect. Like, the court deemed him... There was enough grounds to say that he did that shit. And that he had a protective order filed against him. There was enough to say that he did that shit. That's pretty clear. Like, like this should not be rocket science to you guys.
Bullshit. But if you think that he is actually guilty...
He is.
Then, if I were you, I would be encouraging his ex-girlfriend to file a police report again and go through with the charges. The reason that she said...
Why does she need to do that? She got the protective order on him.
...that she didn't go through is because she was afraid. Papa Gun.
Yeah, that should probably tell you everything you need to know about Tectone, because he was fucking stalking her and subtweeting the fuck out of her and trying to weaponize his audience on her.
Do you remember why she said that she didn't go through with the charges? It's because she said she was afraid. So afraid of him that she went on a stream with a panel of other people and just shit-talked him. That's what we're talking about here.
Are you talking about the stream I think I know what he's talking about. He's talking about the stream panel where she briefly brought up that one of her exes was into, like, hentai. It was like a comment that she brought up in passing. She didn't bring up Tectone by name. She didn't bring up, like, anything beyond that. It was just that, oh yeah, I have an ex who's into hentai. That was literally the only comment she said. That's it. Like, that is far tamer than some of the shit Tectone has said about Pink Chew. Way more tame.
Apparently, you're so terrified of this guy that this guy is going to be violent that you...
Yeah. He's a pretty violent individual. I mean, he can't own a gun for 10 years.
Go on a stream and you shit-talk him with a bunch of other people. If you don't understand that this whole story...
By the way, like, Tectone is also, like, very pro-ICE, who are also very violent, and they, like, murder people unjustifiably, so, like... Yes, I am pretty comfortable saying Tectone not only has violent fantasies, but he also has violent tendencies.
Is bullshit at this point? I don't know what to tell you.
You have nothing. You're coping. You're coping and seething.
But you lying about me, you lying about Tectone, you lying about everyone.
Yeah, we lied about his agreement that age of consent is a trap, and saying that you can't rape your spouse, despite the fact that you went off on a whole fucking tangent about how it's impossible to rape your spouse.
All you do is lie. You cannot defend any of the things that you cannot refute any of the things I'm saying, and you cannot defend any of the things that you're saying.
Says something vague about him being bald and liking anime girls.
I'd be curious to know what it's like to debate someone like Tactical Templar. Obviously, it probably wouldn't go anywhere, but I'd be curious to see Tactical Templar in a debate to see how he would perform against other people. I don't know.
She didn't even say that he raped her, so, like, she kind of got off easy on that one.
Not really. Yeah, I mean, she insulted him. Now, you could say...
The insult, by the way, is just her bringing up the fact that, like, her ex was into hentai. Didn't bring up Tectone by name. It was a comment in passing. That was it.
Well, it wasn't really that big of an insult. But do you understand...
Oh, well, if you don't think it was that big of an insult, why are you fucking bringing it up then?
And that creating a system where a woman can accuse you in civil court and take away your First and Second Amendment right and put you in a position where you're not allowed to respond when somebody comes and tries to impugn you? What if it were
Yeah. If you're a rapist, why would I feel bad that you lose these things? Yeah. Yes, Tactical Templar.
What if it were a position that you were the one in Tectone's place? Now,
well, I don't think Papa Gut's gonna have that problem, because Papa Gut, to my knowledge anyways, is not a rapist. He doesn't rape his wife. Papa Gut hasn't raped anybody. Not that I know of. But, yeah. I don't think he's going to have that problem, bud.
I understand, like Psych 101, I've talked about this. People like Papa Gut, they have no humanity, no empathy whatsoever in situations like this until it happens to them.
Oh, guys, you're supposed to have empathy for the rapists. You're supposed to feel bad for the rapists, guys. Aw, look how Tectone feels. Aw, I know he's a very dangerous individual, but you're supposed to feel bad for him.
And when it happens to them, then they look at the world and they go, "Oh my gosh, like this is so brutal. How did it get to this place?" Because people like you are so short-sighted, so one-dimensional when it comes to thinking, you can't think 15 minutes in front of yourself. A civil court with a rogue feminist activist judge.
Great. Now the judge is too... Classic. Classic. Oh my god, the judge is too woke. Okay. What if the judge was we could use the same argument if the judge was, like, overly conservative. You guys wouldn't say anything. Your argument inherently... When people say the judge is too woke, you're inherently saying that the judge is biased. Like, if the information is correct... Doesn't really matter if they're biased, ultimately, especially when you take into account that the judge has been specializing in cases of domestic violence since 1999. So she particularly has a lot of say in this because she has been doing this for over 2 decades. But I guess that's not going to be enough to convince someone like Tactical Templar because too woke, again, if the judge was too conservative, we would be able to use the same argument against you. That the judge is too biased. But you wouldn't say anything. And you know you wouldn't.
Being able to strip a man of his First and Second Amendment rights and then put in place a protective order that is not actually for protection, where this person can go on stream in public.
A protective order is meant to protect the victim, Tactical Templar. I don't know if you know that. I can't believe I have to fucking explain. The fact that I have to explain that to you shows that you really don't know what you're talking about.
In front of hundreds of thousands of people and disparage, malign, insult, and just run down a person and they can't respond. That is not good. Now, because you don't like Tectone, you've justified it in your mind, but your mind is brain rotted, it's degenerate, and honestly, if we lived in a society where you were the one making the decisions, it would be hell on earth.
Every one of you should be able to recognize that this is not the way society should operate. And Snot Nose Swagger replies with this clip in the caption, "This guy doesn't believe marital..."
So talking all that shit, you bloated, bearded gnome.
You know, for somebody who claims to keep calling somebody fat... Guys, there was apparently Tactical Templar got doxxed and like his real life was like revealed and everything, and like the pictures of Tactical Templar IRL got revealed, and I just want to say I have no participation in it, but his face got revealed and tons of people were like able to find all this personal information. For somebody who likes to call Papa Gut fat, like Tactical Templar in real life is also pretty fucking overweight. I don't know what to tell you, Mr. Templar, but you know, the pot's calling the kettle black on this one. You don't want to go down this road of calling other people overweight when you are also overweight. I don't know, dude. I'm just saying.
Talking all that shit. And you didn't, no refutation, no, this is why he's wrong. No,
So
you
true,
just want to
King.
run your mouth.
You got it.
You want to poison the well. This guy doesn't have any viewers. Why does anyone listen? This guy supports rape, and this guy supports underage. No.
Well, you do think Age of Consent's a trap, and you went off on a tangent in this very video about how fucking people who are married have to submit to you, which is a rapist take.
Trust me, if anyone's hard drive needs to be checked, it's not mine. It's probably yours.
Ah, okay. Yeah, a little bit of projection there.
The fact that you feel comfortable being this way, not defending any arguments, not backing anything up, just talking shit.
Yeah, Papa Gut would never do that.
I think it tells me
Papa Gut is not an evidence-based guy ever. He's never once been evidence-based. So true.
everything I need to know. But anyway, guys, yeah, we're gonna move on from Papa Gut. This guy's a clown.
He's a clown! Damn, he kind of owned you with that one, Papa Gut.
He's got no arguments. when he actually has to sit and debate with somebody, he gets blown out by
He gets his back blown out by Andrew Wilson. Damn, that implies Andrew Wilson's a little bit gay then, huh?
somebody like Andrew Wilson. And the only way that he can contend with what I'm saying is lying. Lying about me, muddying the waters. Pathetic. Anyway, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Thanks, Tactical Templar. We needed some content to make, so I appreciate you for spitting out this very embarrassing video.